So we're doing sort of a take on banana bread. Now again, I know some people that absolutely hate bananas. So if this isn't something that, a comfort food for you, you can still follow that template, but then swap some of the ingredients and add something that is a little bit more appealing. So with our banana bread, we're adding oats. So who uses oats at home?
All the time.
Yeah,
Good.
awesome. Okay, so we're using large flaked oats.
Yep.
And I also pulverized 2 cups of it in the food processor to turn it into flour. And you can buy oat flour. For some reason, they charge you more, quite a bit more, for the oat flour because of the work that they put into it.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Sorry?
The ground.
The ground,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So what I
Easy to
suggest,
do.
just, again, that's why having a food processor is so helpful. I just use the large flaked oats, put them in the food processor, and blend them until you get flour. It's a lot cheaper that way because you can have a whole bag of oats for like $2, $3. So it works out a little bit better. So we have 2 cups of the ground oats, so it's fine. And then about half a cup of the oat still in its textured form together. Wet ingredients. We have 1 egg, which I will whisk up. Instead of regular butter, we're going to be adding almond butter.
My favorite. How much more?
About a quarter cup. I put half a cup on there. You can vary that a little bit as you want.
More?
Yeah, a little bit more. Another good spoon.
More?
Sure. I'm just gonna-
So half a cup.
You can use peanut butter if you want.
What could you use instead of banana?
Oh, that's a good question.
Apples.
So you can use, yes, applesauce. Some applesauce would work. The apples adds, the bananas.
Peaches.
Yeah, anything that's soft
Mushy.
and sort of
That's
mushy.
right.
So we've made desserts before. I know it sounds odd, but we made desserts before with avocado. You can add avocado to it.
Avocado pudding.
This is a fun one to have like the kids help you make, or adults that act like kids, because you could just sort of smash the banana
Oh, that's
in
genius.
there. Maybe you want to do one of those too.
Sure.
So we're using 3 bananas. The very, very ripe bananas work the best, by the way.
Oh, I was going to just ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The darker the better because they're softer, they're sweeter.
So you just mash it in here?
Just mash it in.
Oh, that's genius. I've never done it this way.
You're adding a lot of sweetness this way too.
Still didn't mash it.
It's messy. It's all right.
Good, good.
And just use a fork. And so you mentioned the darker bananas. Those obviously mash a lot easier than this. But I'm just using a fork and just working it through. If it's a little chunky, that's okay. And if you don't, like we said, if you don't like bananas, the applesauce is already done for you. So you could just add it to this and just move on with that step. Okay.
Easy.
That's it. Wet ingredients. We're gonna add a little bit of maple syrup as well. This is optional. I have some maple syrup in my fridge, so we're adding it.
Is that for the sweetness?
Yeah, we're adding a little bit of sweetness there. I mean, the bananas, you're gonna get quite a bit of sweetness, so you don't need too much. And we're making small bites here, so this is gonna make quite a few cookies, so it's not like you're having all of that maple syrup in there.
The other thing is, I think when people will say, when they hear, oh, high calorie, high protein diets or small frequent meals, it could become daunting, or you think, oh, I have to do this gourmet meal or it has to be expensive. Not really. Look how simple this was. We're still adding the nutrition, and it still can be made small, so you're gonna have a bigger batch. And it's not really expensive, the ingredients. So it doesn't need to be fancy and breaking your bank.
Cinnamon. I think this is the key. This is the trick. A little bit of cinnamon. This is, I think, what wakes you up in the morning.
I think that's the smell. Yep.
Yeah. That's it. That's the one. So about a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Mix that through. And then we're going to mix the oats in there just until combined. And we don't have to worry too much about overworking this. When we're using flour, something that has the gluten in it, when you overwork it, especially in baked dishes, it can become a little gluey. With the oats, you don't have to worry about that.
Could you add nuts or
Yes.
ooh, coconut would be good in there?
So this is sort of, yeah, this is your base. Done. Then, like Fatima said, if you want to add nuts to that, if you want to add seeds, maybe chocolate chips if nobody's looking.
I love chocolate chips.
Right? Perfect. So that we're going to spoon.
And it looks like my oatmeal in one.
Yeah, exactly.
Banana.
And that's a great point. That's the consistency that you're looking for. Sort of like a thick oatmeal. And then you just scoop it on. And this is, it's supposed to be regular. It's not supposed to be perfect.
Stick.
Yeah, just a nice little heaping tablespoonful on top of there. That's it. Like really, really easy cookie on the go. Little snack.
Yeah, and it's not like it has the oats. It has the almond butter. Quick and easy, but still again nutritious.
And so this goes into the oven 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. And then that's it. You're gonna fill the entire room up with this cinnamon and banana bread smell. And then you can add whatever you want at the end.
The hard part will be just stopping at one or two.
So I figured a little bit of drizzled chocolate on top of that doesn't help. But that's it. These freeze really well too, so you make a big batch. Yeah.